Good Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you might be. Victor, I'll add you in. Don't worry about it. There we go.
Okay, here I am.
I knew I forgot one thing. You were busy right before this, so we weren't doing all the normal things today. And that's fine. Hi, by the way, my name is Darren. This over here is Victor, and we're the co-host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. That comes out on Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern. At some point, I need to change that intro because it's just getting old even to me. So anybody listening to it is probably getting tired of it too. One quick housekeeping item. We will not, I repeat, not be here next Friday. Both Victor and I have conflicts. And he has a phone call.
And he has a phone call. Yes, not anymore.
Okay.
Cancelled. More important things happening.
Yep. Ivan, good to see you. K squared. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and try to answer Shift X's question.
Yeah.
Answer that. And
then I'm doing embeddings. What I'm trying to do is basically fetch documents and data from different sources, like starting with GitHub Markdown from all the repos. That will continue to Slack, to Zoom transcriptions, through Notions, through everything. The goal is really to organize company knowledge or person's knowledge or team's knowledge or whatever the scale is in a way that is useful both to people and agents, right? So that when somebody says, I don't know, like deploy my application, LLM has not only the public knowledge it already has, but gets the relevant information that is somewhere. We don't know where, right? So it's semantic search and all the jazz. That's what I'm working on.
We have an item today that might give you a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Encouragement. We'll call it that way. It's not the right word. We'll see if it works out or not. Let's go into it because there's a lot. It's like nothing happened this week, right? It was a nice, quiet week. Nothing, especially yesterday. Yesterday was extremely quiet. Meaning, did you even sleep last night?
I went to bed around 9 o'clock in the morning, which is late even for me.
That's late for you, exactly.
That's late for me, yes.
We won't get into the rest of the conversation around that. This week's episode, Why Talent Won't Work For You Anymore, because nobody wants to work in a company that stuck 20 years ago. That's one of them.
It's not good for those people, right?
Yeah. That was one of the points we made, and there were lots of other ones that we got into as well. But so, again, comes out on Wednesdays. We'll go ahead and go fast. Also, last weekend was FOSDEM. And, of course,
Yay!
Jenkins was there along with lots of other projects. It's interesting, this year they were on the main floor in between Homebrew and GitLab. Now, you're thinking to yourself, Jenkins beside GitLab? As Bruno says here, where was the conversation at? And our GitLab neighbors, I was a bit worried we'd end up exchanging passive-aggressive jabs. But the exact opposite happens. This is what happens once you get face-to-face, especially at a place like Boston.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about the fun.
I mean, we have the same thing in CNCF, kind of like everybody's competing with everybody, but everybody goes for drinks afterwards and kind of, what are you doing? Let me tell you my secret if you tell me yours.
Yeah, so all the links for today's show is already down in the description. But I figured I'd put this one here, number one, because I still work on the Jenkins project. And number two, it's nice seeing a write-up that people aren't being jerks. Can I say it this way? All C-levels and sales leaders, close your ears. It's because sales wasn't there. And if they were there, they weren't selling. So,
yeah, you don't, I mean, if you came to sell to FOSDEM, you're in a wrong place. I can tell you that. That's probably the last event you should attempt to sell anything.
Probably in the world.
Yeah, probably in the world, yes.
You will probably be summarily asked to leave in a very polite and way that they do in Brussels. So anyway, there are a couple other questions. We'll get to those in a minute. This just came through about an hour ago. An update on Heroku. I was like, what? Leading sentence. Heroku is transitioning to a sustaining engineering model focused on stability, security, reliability, and support. What does that tell you?
That tells me that somebody did hard work of assembling a long text that doesn't say anything.
Yeah. So anyway, we know changes like this can raise questions. I read that sentence and it's like, oh, we're getting ready to shut down. That's the first thing. But we want to be clear. All right, there's no change for anybody today. Credit card, all that stuff is fine. Here's the change. Enterprise account contracts will no longer be offered to new customers. Existing subscriptions and support contracts will be fully honored and may renew as usual. Yeah. This is, to me, this is the airplane turning off of onto base, getting ready to turn on the final, right? And getting ready to...
Yeah, but, that was never really Heroku's business, and that's probably the downfall of Heroku in the first place. Heroku was extremely popular, both in small companies and big companies, but only until you reach certain scale. And then you say, okay, now I need to go somewhere else.
Which is fine.
Which is perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm just, when you read that part about enterprise contracts, come on, you don't have any.
Yeah, because most of them probably moved on, other than maybe just some little areas that still have pockets of things where it still makes sense.
Yeah. So I have no doubt that there are many enterprises using Heroku, but that's not as their main, place or thing that they do. It's not important.
And for those of you who don't remember, Heroku runs on AWS hardware. I don't know if they've expanded beyond that. They were acquired by Salesforce a number of years ago now. So it's fully operating. So why is this change? We're focusing the product and engineering investments on areas where we can deliver the greatest long-term customer value. Spending, including helping organizations build and deploy enterprise-grade AI in a secure and trusted way. So it's all
everybody.
About AI.
It's exactly.
It's just so anyway. This will be the thing to start watching. So as of February 6, 2026, if you want an enterprise account new at Heroku, you're not getting it. So we'll see if it just sort of stays level or goes slow, or if it does this. We just don't know yet.
It's so low that it cannot go much lower.
That's true. Speaking of low, the guy that maintained Sudo for 30 years wants some help. Like, he's tired of doing it. One guy has been maintaining Sudo for 30 years. Now let's do the math, right? Let's just do basic math. I don't know when he started, but let's say it was 25 to 30, right? That would probably be about a ballpark. You think about 30 years. 30 years ago was math. 1995, 96, 1996. You've been working on one project for that long. And it's actually past 30 plus years. I'm currently in search of a sponsor to fund continued Sudo maintenance and development. Because he was working for a company, basically left. It was a subsidiary of Quest. All that's gone. So now it's like, oh, there's been plenty of updates. But man, 30 years, Sudo.
Sudo is one of those things that if you are, without showing me that article, if you ask me about it, I would just say it just exists.
Just exactly. You're not
Who
thinking about
maintains it? It exists. It was spun out of nothing into existence, and it exists ever since.
Now, let me ask this. Do you think the same of curl?
Yeah.
You do? Okay,
Yeah.
see, so Sudo, I'm like you on that. It's like it was just there, part of core, but in reality it's not. But curl, because Daniel Steinberg, has talked about it so much. So to me it's like, okay, I have a face and a name with curl. I didn't have one for Sudo.
I mean, me too. So my answer was actually before, what was it, like half a year ago, that was in the news and stuff like that. And just like now, Sudo. So Sudo is also removed from that bucket in my head now, just as curl was. I'm just talking more from before, right?
Yeah.
Like, did it ever occur to you to say, I need to upgrade my Sudo or curl?
No. Well, okay.
Kind of like,
not Sudo, but curl, yes.
Okay.
Because there may be because there were some issues with certificates over the years, and there were things that happened. Right.
Yeah.
But Sudo typically, it'd be when I would do an update, and there'd be a new Sudo come in. It's like, oh, okay, there's a new Sudo, great, whatever. Anyway, looking for more support.
Yeah.
There you go. I heard this article on changelog either this week or last week. I think it was last Friday's thing. Your app subscription is now my weekend project. I've done this on a number of things. So this guy is in Canada. His name is Roberto. I pay for a lot of small apps. One of them was Whisperflow. It's only $14 a month. But then on the afternoon of New Year's Day, he vibe coded Jabber, which gave him the exact features that he needed that were in Whisperflow. So gone. Right. It's not production quality. I would never sell it or anything else. It does exactly the way I want it to for free. Great. So he saves $14, check mark. And then he was using Loom, which was acquired by Atlassian at some point last year, before last. $15 a month. So after he did Jabber, he created Reel to record exactly the way he wants to do things. And then the other day, somebody got tired of using something, and now he's vibe coded his own Markdown editor for his Hugo blog. And I went, oh, that sounds interesting since I do that. But Hugora. Right, so he just keeps on notching off these little things. And I'm doing the same thing on a couple of things as well. I've got one big project, but I have lots of little projects right now.
I think that will be increasing over time, to be honest. I need this. Let's just make it. Let's just create it, right? And it's going to be what I need and not more, not less. I think that those things are going to increase drastically, right? We will have a bunch of software people run just for themselves.
Yeah. And
even at a company level, I mean, we're not there today, but I can imagine in some future saying, okay, you know what? We have those devices that do this at the company, and let's just create our own operating system for those devices.
It's great. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying we're creating Linux, just to be clear.
Right.
I'm saying no, this is like 0.00001% of what Linux does. Maybe I can just create it.
Yeah. And it's exactly what you want. This one hit home to me. I'm an engineer, but I've never written a single macOS application. Well, I haven't either. I've never even read Swift code in my life, and yet now I can get an app up and running in a couple of hours. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I do want to at least look into Jabber so we can see what he's done. It's not open source. He's using unlicensed. Do you know what unlicensed is?
I don't know. What is unlicensed?
Unlicensed is free and unencumbered software to the public domain. So it's not even it's a public domain license effectively. It's called unlicensed.org. So if you think about SQLite, it's also public domain. It's not open source. Big difference.
Okay.
Right? So I thought this was interesting. These are little Mac apps that he wrote. So I'm gonna probably load up Jabber because I want to see how this works, because I've got to stop typing. I'm slowing down. That's like I can't get what's in my head out through my fingers fast enough anymore. So I've got to start talking now, I think. So I'm going to give this one a shot and see if it works the way I want it to. We'll see. HashiCorp introduced Agent Skills this week.
Of course they did.
I'm not going to say too little too late, but why so long? I mean, especially with Eton bringing out what he did last week. Or 2 weeks ago with Terraform. But I think this is broader than just Terraform.
Yeah, but it takes the bigger the project, the bigger the company, the more you use the project, it takes and more manpower you have, it takes more time. Which might not sound logical, right? But that's how the things work. The innovation comes from people, from companies that were just created. and then they're adopted by companies that don't have much IP and so on and so forth, right? To me, it's not unexpected. I mean, to be honest, seeing Pulumi do it like almost a year before them, I'm not entering now in the differences in quality, kind of makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. So if you're using any of the HashiCorp stuff, probably time to at least take a look. And again, I want to bring out Anton's skill that he released I think it was last week or week before last. I can't remember. Anyway, that's that. Oh wait, I just saw something that I hadn't caught before. Where was it? Right here. Partnered with Tesla. We talked about Tesla last week. That's where
Tesla, yeah.
So, let's partner with Tesla to evaluate and improve our agent skills. We use 2 evals: review evals and task evals. So, hey, look.
Nice.
Might be something to think about. Okay, next up. Speaking of HashiCorp, but no longer HashiCorp, Mitch Hashimoto, sorry, Mitchell, went through his AI adoption journey.
Oh, now I'm interested. What's the gist of it?
I don't know. I haven't read it. So I saved it for this reason because I figured this would be interesting. So there's these steps. So experience has gone through 3 phases. Inefficiency, yes. Adequacy, yes. And then finally, workflow and life-altering discovery. I think that's where you're at right now. I'm still right about here.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm in that 3rd phase. Acknowledging that there will be probably 75 other phases after that.
Well, if you stayed up till 9 a.m., I imagine that was part of it. So, this blog post is fully written by hand in my own words. I hate to have to say that, but okay. So he actually did write this. Drop the chatbot. So that's the first thing. Immediately cease trying to perform meaningful work via chatbot.
Yeah, to me that was the phase 1 kind of. That does not work. No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
But that was a year and a half ago, right?
Yeah. You must use an agent to find value. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yep.
Reproduce your own work. The next phase of my journey, I tried Claude Code. Cut the chase. Initially, I wasn't impressed. We weren't impressed with Claude Code initially either.
Yeah, I think maybe he will get to that. I think that the light bulb really clicks when you stop fighting it.
Yeah.
Kind of, maybe it's not, I mean, it's a similar thing. Like imagine you're a manager, kind of like you're trying to impose the process instead of trying to expect certain result from your team.
Right. You really want the result, not the process, when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and if anything, you want to let the team work in whatever the team thinks is the most efficient way, as long as that is within certain boundaries and then certain result is produced.
So felt like I had to touch up everything. Wasn't that impressed. Instead of giving up, I forced myself to reproduce all of my manual commits with agentic ones. I literally did the work twice. I do the work manually, then I fight an agent to produce identical results. This was excruciating. Okay, whatever. But expertise formed. I quickly discovered for myself first principles what others were already saying, but discovering it as myself resulted in a stronger fundamental understanding. Welcome to learning.
Yeah.
Break down sessions into separate, clear, actionable tasks. Don't try to draw the owl in a mega session. Yeah.
Yep.
Vague requests. Split the work into separate planning and execution. Yep.
Yep.
Give an agent a way to verify its work. Yep. Okay. So all this makes sense. So end of day agents. Okay, this is interesting. What is this? I started a new pattern. Block out the last 30 minutes of every day to kick off one or more agents. Okay. Hypothesis was that I could perhaps gain some efficiencies. Okay. So some found. Okay. So deep research sessions, I'd ask to survey some field. Parallel agents to so basically his wrap up is do end of day tasks that doesn't take as much brain power, I guess. That's the way I'm reading it. I could be wrong. Again, issue and PR triage review. Yeah, that's fine. So I did not go as far as others went to have agents running in loops all night, but enough to half hour, which is sort of where I want to be anyway.
Yeah.
Outsource the slam dunks. Okay, what is this about? Getting confident, mostly correct. Let agents do all of that work while I worked on other tasks. This is where you're at.
That's where I am at right now. Exactly. I'm not at the place where I run autonomous agents, kind of just do it. But I do parallel work. So kind of, while you're doing it, I'm going to do this. And when I'm finished with that, I'm going to come back and see what you've done.
Yep. So basically, get his backlog for right now and then fire off and do something else. Turn off agent desktop notifications. Just let it go. Yep. Engineering of the harness. Better implicit prompting. Actual programmed tools. Oh, okay. Here's the harness.
Yeah.
I'm getting lost in the document here. I think we're on the last one. Always have an agent running. If an agent is running, I ask myself, is there something an agent could be doing for me right now? That's a interesting thought.
Oh, yeah. I'm not there yet, for example.
Yeah. And what he's saying, I don't want to run agents for the sake of running agents. I only want to run them when there is a task I think would be truly helpful to me. Yeah, that's okay.
Exactly.
This is one of those posts I think you just need to go back and read and think and see, okay, where am I at in this path? Because the path feels like a very, forgive me, a standard learning path.
Yeah, it feels very similar to my experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. I mean, what I admire about people like him is that they're very happy to go against something and then change their mind.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like respect for that.
Okay, a couple of X posts that I saw. The cost of creating and especially cloning any piece of software is going down to zero. This goes back to the post I had earlier of, your application becomes my weekend project. So
yep.
That's goes zero, more precisely $200 a month for a Claude Max subscription. And it's just looking at the software meltdown and looking at their value that's happened over the past 52 weeks. And it just keeps going down.
Yeah. And I mean, I know you're not there yet, but the moment you start using it kind of fully, those $200 are not actually much.
It's not much. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's nothing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, I'm still at 100, getting ready to go to the 200, and I'm just thinking I can't operate without 200 right now. I mean, I still need to optimize a few things, but...
And the good news is that other models, like Kimi, is very good. I wouldn't replace... if I exclude the price, I wouldn't replace. But if you ask me, kind of, if I would be price conscious, I would actually be using Kimi.
Yep. And then Jeremy Olson, we were talking about his open or max token. That was what we were talking about this week. This is actually from last week. He's posted a few more things. But what he saw is it took his $1,000, max token did, autonomously learning and growing itself. And Moltbook was crazy this past weekend. For lots of different reasons. And then moment of takeoff, it's almost certainly really good and really bad. That's where we're at.
I'm officially, my OpenClaw server is officially gone. For all of you trying to hack it,
okay, here.
You can't.
So I didn't realize you had actually gone down that path.
I did. I ran it for a week.
So let's tell us the story. Why did you decide to turn it on first to begin with?
Quite a few reasons, but I think that one of the main reasons was... No, I made it as secure as it can be. So I spent few hours setting it up. Few hours with Claude Code is eternity in normal workflow, right? So I wasn't that worried about security. It's simply, it's not good. And it's not reliable. And, maybe for somebody else that would be fine, but I'm an engineer. I can do better than that, right? Even if that means starting from scratch. The last drop in a bucket was Actually, me and Darin, two of us had a recording we were supposed to do a few days ago, and I did not appear. And that's because a few days before that, I said, OpenClaw, notify me on Telegram whenever there is a meeting, whenever there is this or that. Here is access to my stuff. It doesn't do that. And I'm not judging it because we're not there yet. And I think OpenClaw is amazing because it shows us what we can do. I don't think it's a thing. I really don't. It's very impressive. It's not a thing.
A thing yet. Let's call it that. Because it gave us the idea or the picture of what could be.
But there is another thing there. Let's say that I use my example of notifying me when whatever, right? Do we need AI for that?
No.
Right? It's a cron job. I can write it in half an hour. Literally. It's a cron job that connects to your source of data, finds out based on dates, timestamps, whatever, and fetches data and then sends a message somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's what it does. That was my... I feel that Clawbot is now becoming, for some people, it's replacing code, and it shouldn't. It should be, those things like that should be used when we need intelligence. And we happen not to need intelligence very often.
That might be the quote.
And on top of that, the interface is horrible. Yeah. And also, I cannot use Telegram as my the kind of things I watch all the time. It's just not good.
Yeah. Yesterday, Anthropic made a couple of announcements. This one came out a couple of days ago, though. Claude is a space to think. TLDR on this is we're not going to put ads, whereas OpenAI is going to be putting ads in their things, or at least as
because their business model is very different from business model of OpenAI. Anthropic earns money by selling to enterprises, and then individuals buy it as well. But that's not their main source of income. OpenAI is primarily end user platform, and I might be wrong, but I think that. Don't hold me if I'm wrong, but I think that only 3% of OpenAI users are paying customers.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
a very, very low conversion rate.
Whereas all of us are paying Anthropic, at least $20 probably.
Yeah, and then that's still not really the real source of income, like you paying for Anthropic. The real source of income is that
It's the enterprise.
huge amount of companies are making big deals. We're talking about hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year to Anthropic for their employees. That's the real source of income.
If you haven't seen the ads that Anthropic has put out this week,
amazing.
In the States, this week is a big football game. I'm not going to say what the real name is because we'll get taken down. But if you haven't gone out to the Anthropic YouTube channel and looked at all the ads that are going to be played on the big game, you need to.
Those will be played on the game?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, they're
Yes.
going big time. Okay.
So part of our $100 and $200 is going to pay for the ad spots. Yes,
Yeah, that's fine.
the one I saw.
I mean, ads are so good that they are worth every penny. Like I watched some of them a couple of times just because I like it.
Did you watch the one where it was the two girls in the diner?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was smiley, and then got angry, and then smiley again. And I was like, okay, here we go. Actually, I'm going to jump over to a question here from Luther real quick. Test with Java 8 upgrade for a legacy enterprise and AI model are failing me. One of the big things you might not have to worry about OpenAI, Open Rewrite. Go to Open Rewrite. I'm going to go ahead and give a plug for it right now, and then I'll give a plug for, if you don't know about Open Rewrite, go. That's your. So openrewrite.org. I was trying to remember it. There is a commercial version. I will go. We've had Jonathan on from Modern. If you need the money, or if you have the money, I would get Modern. And this is a solved problem. A solved problem. Okay, the Q developer thing that AWS has, under the hood, it's using Open Rewrite. I mean, it's using other things too, but under the hood, especially in the Java space, It's using Open Rewrite. Luther, just
There
do
is
it.
I mean, to me that feels similar like CodeRabbit, in terms that can you use Claude like Sonnet, Opus to review your code? Yes. The results are terrifyingly bad. I mean, they're not bad, they're good, but compared to what CodeRabbit does, bad, right? And that's not because they're better at creating models, so they probably don't even have their own model, but simply they're specialized in that. So you get a specialized tool. The second thing, I don't believe in any of those things. And I feel that that's related to one of the questions kind of about me running 24/7.
Yeah.
It's not working like that. It's not good by doing things autonomously. It speeds you up. It doesn't do the work for you.
Yeah.
Right?
The one thing about Open Rewrite, yes, they're starting to put some AI stuff into it, but that's not what it's based on. It's based on ASTs, DAGs, you name it. That's what it's based on. And its first language is Java. They have lots of other languages they support now. If you've got to do a migration, please, please, please look at Open Rewrite. Don't start with Opus or Codex. Okay. Opus 4.6 came out. People were thinking Sonnet 5 was going to come out, but we went straight to Opus 4.6. Now, you read through this, blah, 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 right? All the words. They bury the lead a little bit further down. In Claude Code, you can now assemble agent teams to work on tasks together. Single liner. On the API, you can use compaction to summarize context. Also introducing adaptive thinking, which there's a trick to that, by the way. Or actually, not that one, but then you have effort. Effort is a little tricky to understand how to set up. And then they also released a Claude and PowerPoint. Why? I mean, yes, I know why, but why?
Because they want to extend beyond developers. That's like, the answer to that question is the same, like, why did they create Cowork?
Yeah.
Which is basically desktop version of stripped down version of Claude Code, right?
Yeah. So to me, I think the biggest out of all these was agent teams. If you want to try it, it's an experimental thing, so you have to put it in your JSON file or in your settings JSON file. So there's work you have to do to turn this on. Thumbs up, right? Because this could go sideways really fast. Here's the difference. It's like, okay, what's the difference between that and subagents? A subagent runs within a single session. Mm-hmm. What agent team does is you have multiple Claude Code instances working together. So
okay.
Multiple, and then you have agents that can talk to each other.
Nice.
So I was hoping to go through and debug stuff last night, but I went down another rabbit hole and didn't. Oh, excuse me. I was wanting to demo this today, but I got started on other things. So you have to go through this whole document. This document is long, but it shows you how to enable and then how to set up your first team and how to control it. So this is what to think about. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I spin up a team. I'm going to be burning through my credits. I mean, I'm already burning through a week's worth of credits in 4 days, pretty much every week. Which means, okay, just double my spend and I'll be okay. Well, now if I have an agent team going at it for me, I'm going to be back to 2 days again. I don't know, man. And the way you look at it is through tmux. So you can see what each agent is doing.
Okay, yeah. Oh, different panes, yes.
Different panes, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
I mean, that's something probably similar to... So what I'm doing right now, I have different repos that are part of a whole, right? Mm-hmm. Microservices, call it. And then I have skills that they all learned in terms that whenever you need something from the other one, mm-hmm. basically write a file over there and then the other one will read it and do the stop job and notify you when it's done and things like that. Probably not exactly the same, but conceptually similar. How to pass information from one to another.
So I want to also talk about effort, because effort's a little weird. If you're using Claude Code, when you select your model, or you can pass in a startup parameter, but if you just type Claude and that's it, and you go into /model to set the thing, you'll see an effort at the bottom. It's a three slash thing, and then you can size how much effort you want. The reason why you would want to back off effort if it seems like it's just like, what the heck are you doing, right? How many times have you looked at what it's doing? It's like, okay, you're overthinking it. You're trying to back. So to me, effort is more how much thinking do I want to actually do? Like, do I want to overthink it? Do I want to do normal thinking, or do I just want to sure, why not? Those are the different levels. All of this came inside of 2.1.32. So you had to have, that's when 4.6 came out, support. There's multi-agent. There's a summarize from here. I mean, there's lots of stuff that happened. It's also skills defined in .claude skills within additional directories are now loaded automatically, which I didn't know you could do add directories. That's an interesting way of doing things. And then there was 2 fixes since then, all based around problems primarily with agent teams. So
yeah.
That's their next bet. And of course, we'll get into the other thing here, but I saw this article come through this morning. AI agents could crush enterprise infrastructure. And I'm thinking, okay, if I've got...
They could.
Yeah, because especially with the announcement of these agent teams, okay, I'm going to go back to this is a Jenkins story, so forgive me, but don't, I have the microphone. When KK was writing Hudson and people were leaving Sun, he would go around at night and take the machines that were still under people's desks so he could have it as part of his build farm. Right? It's like the machines are sitting there. And there were these tools back in the late 90s that you could run them, at night, you'd have compute across all the machines at night. Right? This nothing new. The problem right now is back then, we were talking 100 megabit? Gig was just now starting to show up. We could be the basics, just overrunning our network. I mean, if I could build up an agent team of, Office closes at 6 p.m., I have access to 170 servers or 170 desktop machines. Now I could have a whole nother business running overnight on these machines, but completely saturating all the pipes. I mean, I don't know if that's what this article goes into, but this was close enough. 5,000 actions per second. When a Python script, I can say it this way. I talked about this last week. We had to turn on login on ci.jenkins.io because it was just getting hammered. I mean, we've been used to having denial of service. That's not abnormal, but it just never stopped. And we had to put it up so we could actually build the next version of Jenkins. So, again, I haven't read this, but the title hooked me. I was like, yeah, we could crush the infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean, assuming that those agents are doing something very useful, that's such a nice problem to have.
Exactly. Right? You can justify a spend.
Assuming that they're doing something useful.
They're not doing something useful today, I would say. Maybe in a few months, but not today. I mean, heck, agent teams just came out yesterday. There's no way it's useful today. Literally. Yeah. It's not there yet, in my opinion. And also, GPT 5.3 Codex came out yesterday. I can't remember who came out first. I think Anthropic, and then it was OpenAI.
It's as if they're all coordinating. Now we're going to get something by next week from Google.
We hope so, right? I mean, they better.
I mean, what they're really all fighting, that's a marketing war for your attention, right? They all feel that, if competition is talking more frequently than me, then we're losing this game, right? And one of the ways to talk is to be releasing something. And that's how the frequency of releases is just insane, right? And it's for marketing reasons.
Luther, I was just thinking about something else while he was talking. I don't know what version of Java you're jumping to from 8. Let's just say there's been a lot of things happen between 8 and even 21. 25 is the current quote-unquote LTS, different conversation. I don't know what you... Try to get to at least 17, if not 21.
So here's a question, because you're more familiar with Java. Yeah. You're familiar with Java. I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
Would it make sense to do something like Kubernetes, kind of that upgrade from very old version goes one version at a time?
The short answer is it depends. I still remember how to be a consultant. I think it would depend on the dependencies. If it's and this is where Open Rewrite can save your bacon or your butt, depending on whatever, if you don't like pigs. There are certain things that can jump. And Open Rewrite will tell you if it can jump or not. Otherwise, it will tell you, no, you need to go through this first before we can jump. All of that's available to do that. So that's the reason why I'm saying is like, yeah, there's a learning curve to Open Rewrite, but it's magic when it works. But it's not magic once you understand, it's AST and DAGs. It's like, oh, okay, that's easy. Aiming for 17, Spring Heavy app, yeah. I think 17 is fine, but I would be careful because 17 is going to go out of support. I think it's already out of support, but that's fine. That's normal. I'll say one more thing about Jenkins and then I'll shut up. If you go out to the Jenkins.io site and look on the blog and search for the 2+2+2 plan, that explains what the Jenkins process is for keeping Java up to date from a Jenkins perspective. And that might be something to give you an idea of, okay, maybe get to 17 now, but then think about, okay, how do we want to do this in the future? The 2 is a year count. Anyway, let's go back to this. Codex, the desktop app for macOS only. Have you looked at this? Because I'm not doing anything with Codex or OpenAI at all.
Yeah, I mean, Codex wasn't my thing, the CLI. Now, desktop app. I'm not sure that I'm looking for desktop app.
I'm not either. I just... Because I want to go back to Mitch's post. That's where I want to be. I want to be able to hand stuff off to agents. Well, agents, I don't need a UI. I don't.
I mean, you still need probably to see something.
Yeah, but I don't need a full UI like this.
You know, before when I was working on one thing at a time with Claude Code, I was certain that terminal is the way to go. Now that I have multiple sessions in parallel, this is beyond certain for me, right? Because the ease with which I can be switching between panes or, agents on terminal is just, I cannot imagine how that could be as easy, as fast in any other type of application. Now, imagine whatever, best designed desktop app, and where you would be easily switching from one to another. I'm not sure how that would work even.
Yeah.
Like in Ghosty, it's kind of literal. What's command option left, right, up, down.
Yeah.
That's the workflow.
I know.
And you go in circle, kind of like it's right, down, left, up, right, down, left, up.
Yeah, if you haven't used Ghosty yet, which is the terminal that Mitch Hashimoto has put out, Mitchell Hashimoto, it doesn't use tmux, but it's tmux-like within itself. So, you would agree with that, right, Victor?
Yeah.
Right. Just from a windowing perspective, it feels very tmuxy versus just separate windows.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some issues and problems. It's not kind of feature complete, but from all those that I tried, that's the only one that feels like, in my case, okay, this is a Mac app, not some silly, something.
Yeah. In case you want to get more into tmux, if you go back over to the docs for Agent Team, they talk about how to set up tmux with iTerm specifically. And how all of that will work. Again, I've moved on to Ghosty because it was better
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
This is what I was alluding to at the very beginning of the show, talking about you were building out your models. Read this, and maybe this will give you some ideas. So what they're doing, they announced their Developer Knowledge API. Okay, who cares, right? But here's the purpose of it. During our public preview documentation during our public preview, our documentation is reindexed within 24 hours of an update, ensuring the tools stay current with the latest releases. So this is, everything else is like, okay, whatever, but it's this is what matters. If you don't keep it up to date, it doesn't matter.
That's very similar to what I'm doing. Kind of by default, it is resyncing every 24 hours, finding the differences and what's not.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I liked about this. It's like, okay, this is how the big guys are approaching it. If you're trying to do it yourself, this would probably be the way you'd want to approach it as well. There is now a skills.sh. It's the open agent skills ecosystem. So now you can find lots of skills. We may have talked about this before, but this is basically from Vercel, if I remember correctly. And 44,000 skills. Another Jenkins thing. This was like Jenkins plugins gone awry. Right? There's 2,000 plugins for Jenkins. And now we're going to have that same thing. We're going to have thousands and thousands of these things, and there's going to be a top 5%. Like, okay, there is a hot here. So it's like browser use, which we looked at that before. But some of these are like, I don't know, like 3JS shaders. Who cares? I don't understand.
I feel that people might be overdoing skills. Kind of, if anything, I'm both skills and memory, like Claude MD. I'm reducing, not increasing, to be honest, because it's increasingly more capable, right? And I'm really trying to only provide instructions in one form or another that are very specific to me, things that are different than what it would normally do. Yeah. Right.
One more tool, Xcode now supports Claude Agent natively. So if you're actually using Xcode, it's got Claude Agent and also the OpenAI. So you can choose. So if you're in the Apple ecosystem and you use Xcode all the time, which it's a fine editor, all of that's there. But again, I'm working on a Mac app, and I only had to open up Xcode once because I had to change one thing. Until it figured out, I can actually just change that for you in the plist file. Great, thank you. But you do that. I don't want to go back into Xcode again. Okay, Wake Claude. I had to laugh, but not laugh. So a tiny Mac TUI to schedule Claude Code prompts so your sessions can keep running even when you hit limits or go to sleep. There's a quick 2-minute video here. This sounds like me. I hit my 5-hour session rate limit a lot. Sounds like me. Work would stop mid-flow, so I wanted a way to auto-resume right when the limit resets. Now I can schedule a prompt. So let's say I run out at 7 o'clock. My window doesn't reopen until midnight.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 5-hour window or whatever it was. So I could schedule it to go ahead and just select the session and say continue.
Yeah.
So, this isn't bad. It's available in Homebrew. But I just thought it was like, okay, this is going back to Roberto's thing at the very beginning. This is a little tool that I need for myself.
Yeah.
And does what it's supposed to do. One thing, it's following the Linux model. It does one thing and does one thing well. We had a couple from Patrick. Patrick shipped 2 things this week. He's launched declawed.
Okay. What is it?
I've never said that out loud. It's funny. Declawed. So it's like you're declawing a cat. A containerized drop-in replacement for Claude Code. Okay. Instead of starting with Claude, you say declawed. So what is it? Same command, same workflows, everything. But Claude only sees what you mount, your current work tree, and nothing else. Because here's what was happening. If you're running Claude Code with Git work trees, I'm not. You might want to read this. Here's the problem. Claude Code can navigate your file system with work trees. Your other branches are just a CD away. One wrong move, and Claude is helpfully editing files in your production branch while you're working on a feature. So this keeps you sandboxed. This is dclod. I'm not using work trees though. I'm not.
I am using work trees,
now?
but I mean
I
that's
thought
the
you
only way
hated
I
it
could
at first. Okay.
Yeah, but now that I'm in multiple things at the same time, sometimes in the same project, I have to do it. I still don't like it, but I have to do it. That's the only way forward, right?
Yeah. So this is dclod. Yeah.
The thing that confuses me is simply I just don't give it auto permissions for anything outside of the directory where I'm running it. So I'm not sure how much of a problem this is in the first place.
It may not be a problem for you in your particular application. Do you have a meeting at the top of the hour?
No, it's all good.
Okay. Just
Probably. I'm just guessing.
Just guessing. You don't have OpenClaw to tell you anymore, do you? Moving on. Another one he did was ADDT. AI don't do that. A universal tool for running any AI coding agent in a secure, isolated environment. So this feels like beyond what dclod does. It can rewrite, execute code, blah, blah, blah. It gives you container isolations. Agents can't accidentally modify your system. Everything happens inside of Docker. A network firewall, so it can block. Resource limits. It supports most of them. This is ADDT. We're gonna have a lot of things to talk with Patrick about. That could be a long session. Okay, and then let's see here. Okay, yeah, we're getting close. Automate code review with Claude Code's final review. I didn't know about this. Did you know about final review?
Final review? No.
No, because it doesn't. This guy wrote it. That's the reason why you don't know about it. It's a / command he built for Claude Code. Okay, it's called a skill now. It's no longer / commands, but that's okay. Faster thermal. Okay, 3 AI agents run in parallel. Code-based consistency, clean code principles, defensive code auditor. Okay, so 3 of those. So I want to take a look at the full prompt because I want to break it apart. Yes, I know. Go ahead. And understand the prompt. And let me put it into raw mode because the format, and no, let's leave formatted. Okay, step 0, determine a review pass, create or update the PR, launch 3 review agents. Okay, this is what I'm more interested in right here. Use the tasks tool to launch these 3 agents simultaneously. Important context. If there's a follow-up pass, include in each, okay, whatever, do all that. Then here are the 3 agents. Okay, that makes sense. And then you do the things. I haven't run this yet because it's Ruby or it's focused on Ruby and Rails. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but not for me. But the thing I'm not concerned about, trying to understand, and now especially with agent teams, it's like, okay, do I want to launch 3 agents in parallel at all, or do I want to have 3 separate agents? Right. This models a business a lot easier now because I can look at an agent as a person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's which I could before, but you're doing it when you're thinking in parallel. It's like, okay, I'm still running inside a single process, and I want to.
Man, I have in my terminal in Ghosty, I have 3 tabs. Yeah. One is random stuff, another one is planning, and third one is doing. And each of those can have multiple panes. Like I can be working on multiple PRDs or one PRD.
Yeah.
And then the end of the process is, do you want to create a work tree? And then that goes to the other tab where the actual work is going on, which again can have multiple ones. It's crazy. And my brain hurts and I don't recommend.
But you do it anyway.
But because we like suffering, don't we?
Yeah. Claude Vault, secure secrets handling for Claude Code. Here's the problem. Claude Code logs everything. When you do this, it goes ahead and puts the API key out there. This will take care of hiding all of that.
Yeah, nice.
It's important. It's a plugin. This is a newsletter that I follow. There were too many little things in it this week. The thing that you want to look at, yes, I know, I appreciate that. Go away. So the AI and security section, there were a lot. I was going to say a different word. a lot of OpenClaw related things. So if you're still looking at potentially running OpenClaw, you might want to take a look at all these different posts. The one from 1Password is pretty good. There's a hardening recommendation. There's lots of hardening recommendations. I would take a look at this one. And it just, I had other things I was doing, so I'm glad I stayed away from it. I am, based on what Victor said, I'm glad I didn't try to spin it up. But anyway, and if this is you can sign up for this newsletter too, just to watch it. It's where I get a lot of information from. You're muted, by the way. I think are you still alive? Okay, good. All right.
I'm still alive.
Okay. You were sitting really still. Okay. So from Anthropic, they made this. So last week, they made the big announcement. We can connect with fill in the blank, right? All these different things. So this is the repository that has all of their plugins that are for, think Claude Desktop, right? Think about normal people, but you can also use these plugins within Claude Code. So if you're wanting to do, because the one that blew up this past week was legal. And this is basically a direct competitor to a whole industry within this one directory, right? A multi-billion dollar industry that's almost effectively Sherlocked by a handful of files. And that's like contract review. That was the biggest thing, right? Or compliance. It's just a skill. You're a contract review assistant for an in-house legal team. Go and do the thing. Right? All these things. Now, I was working on a different project yesterday. I'm like you. I'm working on too many projects. And I installed a handful. I think I installed the plugins for legal. No, I didn't do that. I did marketing, product management, because that was actually pretty good. Sales, and one other one. I think maybe it was finance. I don't remember. It was like but there were 4 plugins. And then I looked at it, the output, and it was like, okay, 95 errors. What the heck? So I took a look at it, and all these things have MCPs in them as well, which I didn't catch. Because in the case of this legal, it connects with Slack, Box, Atlassian, Microsoft. Or if I'm in, what was the other one? Maybe it was marketing. Is that where I just was? I've lost track now. Slack, Canva, Figma, HubSpot, So because I wasn't logged in any of these, or I hadn't set up the authentication, I was getting errors.
Yep.
And that's the downside of potentially you're getting all this extra stuff. It doesn't hurt, but you're getting this extra stuff that you may not want in your project.
I think those are the things that you can use you should probably use as inspiration.
Yeah.
Rather than as is.
Yeah. I mean, go to the skill, right? Just go look at the skills and understand, okay, how are they constructing this? What are the things I'm missing if I'm trying to do something similar? But anyway, if you're wanting to just load up some skills and test them out, again, legal was the one. There was all over the financial news this past week of, okay, now a person doesn't have to hire a lawyer. They can do. Should they hire a lawyer? Yes. But for first pass, it's like, oh, come on.
All those things are so exaggerating that I cannot understand how we are falling for all those things. AI is not this year. I don't know the future. It's not replacing software engineers, and it is not replacing lawyers, and it is not replacing doctors. It is replacing them for some things easy, not for things that matter. It is augmenting all those professions. Because I can only assume that if I, as a software engineer, I see how much better work it does with my input than without. Right?
Yep.
There is a huge difference. So, and by without, I mean non-expert input. Right? And I can only assume that the same thing is for doctors and lawyers and what's not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I dare you, okay, kind of like prepare you. If any of you listening has is going to court for something, yeah, I dare you to defend yourself with that skill and see how it goes.
It won't very fast because that's been tried before. Yeah. But if you're wanting to take it, again, you're probably not going to find a better skill, plugin, structure, anything else from anybody else other than Anthropic. You might, but this is the baseline. It's like if you understand how to do this, you can write your own. To me, this is the biggest news of the week. A little project, again, vibe coded. Message Vault is a local first storage and retrieval engine for slicing, dicing, and querying a lifetime of email and messaging data in milliseconds.
Nice.
So you can set it up, download it, and index 2 million emails and 150,000 email attachments from his Gmail account. Started using 20 years ago. Doesn't support inbox yet, but and go.
In my case, emails are either in my inbox, and that means that I need to do something with them, or they're gone forever.
They're deleted. So you already actually process. You're not inbox zero, but you're processing as quickly to zero as you can.
So I don't have archived emails.
Okay.
And zero inbox, yes.
Yep. Okay. But for those of us that are not like you, like me, that has, I think I'd have to look back. I think I signed up for my Workspace account as soon as it was available. What was that? 2004, 3? Yeah, it's large. But anyway, pretty interesting. Your video this week. Let me ask you this: are you A/B split testing your titles?
I am.
Crap. Okay. There, I said a bad word. Because I copied then I see a different. I see different titles. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, split testing. Okay.
Not that I never analyzed the results. So I'm running A/B testing for the sake of running. I have no idea what the results are. Honestly, I have no idea. But one day, who knows?
Maybe you'll have an agent that does it for you. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Anyway, using OpenTelemetry for debugging, I thought that was interesting. But
yeah, because it's a different level of challenge, right? Because OpenTelemetry is very useful, and it's very useful because we have predefined paths in our software, but they're so complex that nobody can follow them, right? It enters these microservices, goes to that one or that one, depending on whether it's A or B, and then it's right. It's like a maze. Now with agents, it's even worse, because now agent is deciding which tools to call or which services to invoke and all those things. Actually, not agent, but LLM is deciding what to call, which tools and what's not, right? So it was deterministic but complex. Now it's non-deterministic and even more complex. So we definitely need things like that.
Okay. And then, so if you're looking in the show notes and you see a different title, it's because I got the other title. How many are you just doing A/B?
3.
Or you 3? Okay,
3.
Great. So it could be one of 3, and I just happen to get one of them. Okay.
Ask me why do I do 3 and not 2 or 4?
Why 3?
Because that's the maximum.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
And we talked about OpenRewrite. Okay, yeah. So I'd move stuff around. I was hoping to show Message Vault, but I haven't set it up yet. I just didn't have time. So anyway, that's that. Okay, we're past the top of the hour. I want to take a look at the comments one more time because I know I skipped over a couple of things here. Shift tag. So we covered that. We covered Luther's question. Yeah. Okay. I do like this. Should I put coding while asleep as a performance goal? I think that's a good KPI. I don't know that HR would like that very much.
And can you? Yes. I'm not there personally. I'm not saying that I'm anywhere near the tip. I cannot do it. It's more work for me.
Okay. Here's one that you might be able to do. How about researching while you're asleep? That one feels better, right? Safer.
But but researching takes, in my case, takes seconds. Right? What takes tremendous amount of time is then conversation. Okay, but why this? How about that? Did you think about this? Oh, tell me what you think of this idea. I'm having conversations rather than you do the research and I will take it at face value. I never, every research, I haven't had a single case that the research was done as one shot.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just annoying, kind of like I'm an annoying person, kind of like you tell me something and I ask you why.
You're Ralph Wigguming it. Why? You're being a 2-year-old. Just
yeah.
why?
But I could actually do with why kind of like I can make it answer why 100 times. The problem is that I have real follow-up questions, right? And we are planning something.
Yeah. That's where I'm at on this new project that started last night.
Because, the problem, and now if it's an area that I'm not an expert in, I take almost always its first advice and that's it, right? Kind of, I don't know, marketing. I haven't asked for it, but let's say marketing. Yeah, okay, so that's what people do. Who am I to say no? But when it comes to software, one thing to understand is that it is trained on internet. And internet and knowledge by definition is mediocre, right? Most of the information on internet is wrong. Not wrong as if it doesn't work, but not necessarily the best solution, right? So I just don't accept average internet knowledge as the solution. Otherwise, why am I building it in the first place? If everybody did it already.
Yeah. And here we are making it even more mediocre. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Again, we're taking next Friday off. Is there anything else? I don't think so. It's still cold in a lot of places. It's going to be nice here this weekend. Last week we had ice everywhere. This weekend is going to be 80, which is, what is that, 15, 20? I don't know, Celsius? It's going to be nice.
Nice, okay. Yeah. I'll send you a message. I'll be in a pool next week in Mexico, so kind of like your nice is going to be different than my nice.
I could be in a pool next week, but I think it would probably only be, it would be cold. Let's put it that way. It'd still be cold. All right. Quick check here. Everybody have a good couple of weeks. Enjoy the big game if you enjoy football, or American football, I guess is how I have to say that.
I will insist it's American football.
Yeah.
It existed long before you appropriated it.
Yeah. Well, knowing who our watchers and listeners are, I just needed to. So I tried to reframe it politely. You're wrong, because American football is the only true football, but that's also the same argument. So here's my other argument: is NASCAR
American
is the only true
great.
auto racing.
I'm just saying, it's not football. Football, we already know what football is. It existed long before we came up with American football. And by the way, don't get offended, but you don't use foot with that ball much in that game.
What does that have to do with anything? And by the way, the Olympics are also going on too. They officially started today.
Oh, is it Winter Olympics, right?
Winter Olympics, yeah.
Where are they?
In Italy, Cortana, Core something.
Okay,
Cortana,
nice.
So if you enjoy hockey, ice skating, anything that's cold, that's the reason why you didn't know about it, is because it's cold.
You know what's my favorite in Winter Olympics?
What?
Curling.
Man, a game I saw a video yesterday to where the stones were so close they brought out the micrometer to measure. I was like,
why does that a game exist in professional sport is beyond anybody's understanding. I'm sure it's very fun to play.
Yeah. So you were being facetious when you said it's your favorite. So you don't really care for it. I think it's amazing. It's like because you're talking slivers of space.
So people clean the floor while playing the game.
Yeah. It's part of the way you do it. Okay.
I would like to try to play it though. There is a difference between professional sport and me having fun. I would love that.
But you realize it's cold in there, right?
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
We'll see.
I'll stick with margaritas in the pool. Okay, you convinced me.
Summer Olympics is your jam. All right. See everybody in 2 weeks. Have a good couple weeks.